Viewer discretion advised. This series contains horror scenes that are meant to give you paranoia and keep a lingering feeling that you aren't alone. As you read or throughout the books, make sure you remember that everything has meaning, and it was your choice to keep moving forward. Treading Downwards, June 29th. It's never been Heather's dream to work as a lifeguard at the public pool, but it's a good summer job that pays decently and allows her to get some much needed sun. Heather would much rather be inside her room listening to whatever music was playing on the radio as she read some new books from the library. Lately, she's been reading books written by R.L. Stine. Heather walks over to her seating area and switches places with Maverick. As she sits down, she sees that not many people are here, which makes sense. She works the 4 hours before closing, so right after dinner. She begins to fade out of the world, thinking about whatever she wants. Today's topic is the latest book she finished, A Girl Who Was Supposed to Die by April Henry. It was a really good book by her standards, which in themselves are kinda low, but the ending felt very full circle. As Heather continues to think about her book, she spots at the corner of her eye a kid flailing his arms around wildly. She rushes off her post and goes to make sure the kid isn't faking it. "Hey kid, are you alright?" That's when a kid, probably around Heather's age, comes out of the water. Heather wasn't able to notice at first, but when the water fell, she noticed it was Mike. He's from the same school as Heather, and often causes problems for others. "Mike, what are you doing to him?" Heather asks sternly. "What?" Mike shrugs his shoulder. "Can two brothers not have some fun?" Heather didn't know Mike had a brother. Then again, she barely knows the dude at all. "Just be careful not to drown anyone." "Will do, Captain." Mike salutes her as she goes back to sitting on her stand. She sits down once again and goes back to daydreaming. "Hey, Heather." A friendly voice snaps her back to reality. "It's been a while." Heather looks over to the voice and sees it's another kid that goes to her school, Isaac. Heather wanted to so badly hide her face, but smiles instead. "Hey, Isaac. What are you doing here?" "Going for a swim with a friend. They should be here." He begins looking around. "I didn't know you were a lifeguard here." "There's a reason for that," Heather thinks to herself, but instead says, "It just never came up, I guess." She chuckles softly and rubs the back of her head. "Have fun. We should hang out sometime. I'm going to the arcade next weekend." Heather begins thinking of reasons to not go as he begins listing people who will be going. Tegan, Johnny, Adam, and I think Maddie will be coming, but she's kinda up in the air right now. "I would love to go, but it only now clicked that he said Adam is going." Heather stops talking and quickly changes answers. "But I might be late." "That's alright. We were planning on going Sunday sometime afternoon. I'll text you the information later." "Alright." Joy spreads across Heather's face. "There you are, man." Mike comes running up and Heather has to force herself not to roll her eyes. Of course he's here with Mike. "Talk to you later," Isaac says as he runs off with Mike. Heather is too busy inside to call him out for running. Adam, her crush, will be going to the arcade. She can get to spend some time with him this summer after all. She gets flustered at the thought of his flawless jawline matching his bright green eyes and his gorgeous chocolate hair. Butterflies fill her stomach. Then she remembers her job when a kid runs by. "Hey, no running!" She blows her whistle and the kid slows down his pace. Just 2 more hours to go, then her shift will be over. Those 2 hours go by quickly, and all that's left is some cleanup. She checks the pool gutters if anything got caught in there, and cleans them out. Anything that might hold some sort of importance, like a ring, gets put in the lost and found. Heather grabs the mop bucket and brings it over to the side of the pool, and begins cleaning up a spilled drink someone left. The pool doesn't officially close until 10, and it typically takes 30 minutes to make sure everything is good. But her coworker left early for some reason, so it takes twice as long. It's not until 11 when Heather looks at the glowing pool. Heather looks around and sees nobody to stop her, so she dips her toes in and takes her time gliding into the water. She lays on her back and drifts around, letting the water take her wherever she wants. It's a peaceful feeling, but it has to end sooner rather than later. She shifts from her baggage to her feet and walks over to the deep end of the pool. It's 6 feet down, so she begins kicking her legs just enough to keep her afloat. The pool water surrounding her and the peaceful sound of the frogs and crickets fill the air. She begins to swim back, but feels something wrap around her ankle. Heather kicks it off and shouts, "Mike, what the he—" But she can't finish her thought as she looks down. A face that seems to blend into the refracting water shows, grinning with an uncanny smile, and eyes that have seen more than she wants to know. Heather quickly begins swimming it to the edge of the pool. She gets to the ladder and puts her foot on the first step. As she brings her second foot up, the hand wraps around her again. She looks down, and somehow it got creepier. She kicks and squirms, but the grip doesn't loosen. It begins to drag her down. Heather tightens her grip around the poles, but her hands slip. She doesn't get the chance to scream before her head ducks below the water.